Everyone in Blackwood knew one rule. If the train arrived at exactly 12:17 a.m., never get on. Emily laughed when she first heard the story. After missing the last bus home, she stood alone on the deserted platform as rain poured from the sky. Then, she heard it. A train whistle echoed through the darkness. Slowly, an old rusted train emerged from the thick fog. It wasn't listed on the station timetable. Its headlights flickered. Its metal body looked as though it hadn't carried passengers in decades. Yet, the doors slowly opened. Emily hesitated. The station was empty. Her phone had no signal. The rain was getting worse. She stepped inside. The doors slammed shut behind her. The train began moving before she could change her mind. The carriage was silent. Old wooden seats stretched endlessly into the darkness. At first, she thought she was completely alone. Then she noticed someone sitting at the far end, motionless, head lowered, not moving, not breathing, just waiting. Emily slowly walked deeper into the carriage as lightning flashed outside. She froze. Dozens of passengers were sitting perfectly still. None of them spoke. None of them blinked. Every face stared straight ahead as if they were waiting for something. Emily whispered, "Hello?" No one answered. Then, one passenger slowly turned his head toward her. His eyes were completely black. A twisted smile stretched across his face. Within seconds, every passenger turned to look at her. Not a single one blinked. Emily stumbled backward in terror. The train suddenly accelerated. She looked out the window, hoping to recognize where they were. Instead, the tracks had disappeared. The train was racing through an endless forest, covered in thick black fog. There were no stations, no towns, no lights, only darkness. Then a cold voice echoed through the carriage. "Final stop. No one ever leaves." Emily's heart stopped. At the end of the carriage, a tall conductor slowly stepped into the light. His old uniform was soaked with water. His pale face looked almost lifeless. He raised one trembling hand and pointed directly at Emily. Emily ran to the nearest door and pulled the emergency handle. Nothing happened. She tried another. Locked. Every exit was sealed shut. The conductor's footsteps echoed closer. Slow, heavy, deliberate. Without thinking, Emily grabbed the emergency hammer and smashed the nearest window. Cold air exploded into the carriage. She climbed through the broken window and jumped into the darkness. She hit the ground hard beside the tracks. Everything went black. When police searched the abandoned railway the next morning, there was no sign of Emily. No footprints, no body. Only her soaked backpack lying beside the rusted tracks. The case was never solved. But years later, people waiting alone at Blackwood Station still tell the same story. At exactly 12:17 a.m., an old train emerges from the fog. And if you look through the last carriage, you'll see a frightened young woman sitting silently by the window, watching, waiting, as if she's begging someone not to board, because once that train takes you, it never lets you go.